tap beat. And it looks like Calgary is BS at this instance.
And since then, she's continued to grow as a wonderful beater, picking up quite the physical game as well. Been very impressed.
Another tap beat.
We see number 81 coming back. Same as always.
They'll rotate over again. Tap beat again.
Up with beater number 36, doing a good job of opening a lane.
The drive comes.
Take it. Going to come into a big hit, but it's going to break the continuation of the tackle from the Valhalla chaser.
Force it through. We get a no goal. The goal actually made that beat before. If we go back like 10 seconds. So right here, Gola coming from the left-hand side of the screen makes a long-range beat.
Right here.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah, right off of his foot.
Yeah.
Continuation of the tackle from the Valhalla chaser. Driving through
I think he even got it again.
The continuation of the tackle from the Valhalla.
Yeah, beat right there.
Yeah, right there.
He got it twice. That's insane.
It's still an error on the Quaffle players because there's 3 of us and he's running right through us. So
right.
We have to do a better job tackling.
Right.
It shows you what their game plan is and how they've gotten to the finals.
Yep. It's just by driving through everybody.
Lots of defensive pressure, lots of bodies in the way, stopping that.
We have a bit of a long stoppage. There's so many stoppages in this game.
Yeah, there are quite a few stoppages. Yep. So this was a beat before. Are we back into gameplay?
Not confrontation. Communicate. Nathan Ross ended
Yep.
up getting beat in the process.
Back in.
But he was able
We're back to up 3.
So
Got to get this back out of range again. We don't have ledger control.
Yeah, and so still in snitch range.
So pause it.
Yep. Oh.
Go back 5 seconds.
Yep.
So I know James Champion is coming from behind me.
Yep.
It's perfect. I want him there. One thing I like to do is when you juke by somebody, I want to make sure that I cut them off and they're behind me. Because the rules say you can't hit somebody from behind.
Exactly.
Like really, you're just. I do it, and you do it. Basketball players, when you're running a pick and roll, you kind of snake the dribble, keep the defender on your back hip. Effectively, you're just eliminating them out of the play because they're behind you.
Right.
You're kind of creating it. You're creating an advantage situation. So usually I do that when I have to juke by them, but they opened with being from behind me, which I don't care. So now I know that we're going up against only 3 Quaffle players. Ledger control. So I already eliminated him from the play. We played through.
Yeah, and so still in snitch range. Calgary
and
getting ledger superiority at this point.
go around, and now I have both. So I keep him behind me. See that?
Yep. Keeping him behind you.
I didn't even need Gola to beat him, to be honest, because I want him there. So he's trying to tackle. He wrapped me up but missed.
Yep.
Get a beat. I didn't need the beat, but it's fine. Number 55 here, guarding me again. So have Nathan in front of me, their beater. Have this person ready to tackle me. Have the keeper who's already far out of his zone. He's not by the hoops anymore.
Nope.
And Gola is immunity with the only pressure. Here it's controversial. Gola is mad at this every single time. I attempt a kick beat, which the ball goes out of bounds, but it was an attempt. It shouldn't have been a card. They call it because they didn't see the whole attempt. They saw that the ball went out of bounds later. It was windy outside.
Right.
There was a clear beat attempt. Linden is to my right. And if I know Gola is going to tie up this beater, that means Linden's going to get a running start against the keeper, and he already scored a goal like that this game. We play it through.
We see Ittaana Krow coming out. We see
yeah. That just goes way off pitch. That's hilarious.
And then Linden starts. But don't allow the goal because of Gola's kick beat.
Yeah. Oh.
We've got a couple questions.
And
May have been a goal, may
it's hard because if they didn't see the kick before it happened, because if you see it before it happened, you know it that's in the intent of the kick, right?
Yeah.
If you see it a half second after, all you see is the ball's out of bounds, so he kicks it out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's me trying to argue that, but if they didn't see it, it's fallen on deaf ears, so I can't make any more claims. Gola is gonna come to me and tell me, Ittaana tried to kick it at him. This doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, so he's like, no. He finds me. He tries to explain it, but Aaron already talked to me, and I already knew what they're calling, so I can't really. Can't say anything more. If they don't see it, they don't see it. We gotta live with the result.
Yeah. So are you the speaking captain for this game, Ittaana?
Yeah.
You are. Okay. So in this type of what I guess I should say the challenges. What are the challenges that you find as the speaking captain while also being a player? So it's different from being a speaking captain when you're on the bench, and then being a speaking captain as a player. What are did you see what happened there in the middle of that play? Like what specifically they were talking about? Or, yeah, continue.
So, I like it because I'm already talking a lot as it is during the game. So it's just a stream of conversation, honestly.
Oh,
I talk to refs during the game. I talk to my players on the field during the game. I talk to the players either when I'm on the bench or even from the field to the bench at times. So I'm constantly talking. I got a habit of that from basketball. I honestly don't know where that came from. I just found out that it's easier to control everything if you're always aware of all of it instead of coming in and out. It's just controlling chaos. This play, all I know is Gola was tied up. I did not see the kick. So Aaron was the first one to tell me, and I tell my players, if you see something that's happening, come tell me what it is. Basically, you have 10 seconds to explain to me the justification of why it is and why it should not be against us. Then I can put it into context of what I know in my brain, that I remember in my brain, what happened in the play. So then, when I come to talk to the referee, first I ask them kind of what they saw. Then I try to give them context of what my player said happened and why things happened. I kind of always figure, and this is just like in life, you can kind of explain the why. Sometimes people don't know what they saw.
Right. That's such an interesting way of looking at it. Of looking at it, it's almost like you were made for the position. Because you look at the conversation almost as, do you look at it at this conversation as kind of like keep putting you in the zone and keeping your mind in the game?
Yeah, I could speak, being a speaking captain when you're a non-playing coach, I find it harder.
Really?
I find it a little bit harder because I don't see the game on the lens of being at the field. I'm only seeing it from the sidelines. I don't know what the players are saying to each other. I don't know what the referees are saying to the players. Because when you're in the game, I'll give you an example. When we're in Team Canada, when we're in Italy, and we didn't know how they were going to tell us what the lay of game was. I was walking up the field, and the referee took his 2 fingers to his wrist and just tapped his wrist as if to say, running out of time. That's a delay, like it's going to be a delay of game.
Really?
And I had to, because European referees, right? So I didn't know the referee.
Yeah.
So I don't have that relationship. So if I'm on the bench and I'm coaching, until that player comes off the field and tells me, they're doing hand signals to tell me, this is how they're communicating and this is their tone. I wouldn't know what a referee's tone is because I would just match my tone to what their tone is, kind of figure out how to conversate. When you're on the sideline, the non-playing coach, you're talking to the AR. You're not talking to the head ref, right? So all I can do is talk to the AR in the hopes that they're explaining to the head ref what I'm saying. And usually what I've had to do, and I did this at Pan Am for Team Canada, was I just, when the AR wasn't listening to me, or like players were feeling certain kind of way or angst, and my message wasn't getting to the HR because the AR was just not listening, I started yelling over the AR to the HR so they can hear me, so that they can hear the urgency. Because it's all about urgency, right? If you're just trying to tell them that, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I need you to be a little bit more on top of this because watch out for it when it happens next time. That's the main thing. Can't change a call when a call happens in real time. What I can do is tell them, this is going to happen again probably. We're close match. I need you to watch this for next time. And that's especially important for contact penalties because more players need to see that you're trying to get your point across for them with that urgency. If you don't do it with that urgency, things will happen. Either they give up and don't play for you, and they just, their heart's not in it as they think everything's against you, or I think is more problematic, they try to take things into their own hands, and that's where players get hurt.
So it's kind of like it's almost like baseball. I'm not sure if you really know about it or watch baseball, but like a general manager would go out and fight or talk to the umpire, and most of the time they get thrown out for the reason of pumping up their players. So it's I guess it other than being thrown out of the game, obviously. So I guess it's kind of a way to pump up your players and keep them going and for them to know that you're looking out for them.
Especially day 2 of tournaments, everyone is mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
You're riding through emotional roller coasters. Your body's getting beaten, and usually by the end of day 2, it ends up being cold.
Yeah.
So everyone wants the game to end. Everyone wants to get out of here. So trying to keep everyone focused and not lose focus is so important. And the referees are also tired because everyone's playing. So I know that my tone has to be a little bit more calm as the day progresses, but still making sure that I'm getting my point across because they're all beat and they're exhausted.
Right. That's fabulous because that's a fabulous way of looking at being a speaking captain. And I think a lot of inexperienced players who are not experienced in the speaking captain role can really take after that. So thanks for that input. That's an amazing way of looking at it.
And one thing that I know a lot of young or first-time speaking captains are worried about is they don't know the rules. So they don't know what to ask. And what I can say is when I was first started speaking captain, I would formulate almost every point I was trying to make into a question. Because every interaction I took, how I know how this referee interprets this rule or why it's called this way. Because certain games are called differently, especially during physicality, depending on what ref you have. So kind of get an idea of what they're looking for. And if your players are more knowledgeable than you, and because there's beaters are more knowledgeable on certain calls than I am. So when they tell me what they believe happened and why things should happen, all I gotta do is they gave me the information. I'm not even doing the heavy lifting here.
Yeah.
I just gotta make sure my message gets across.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. We're just gonna keep playing the video.
I would have been hit by that bludger. I know it was. I didn't think it was intentional. I know you're trying to kick it back to your hoops, but that. Oh, I know it was an attempted shot for sure, but I don't
see when we get back into play.
By Mr. Kyle Ross, who's our HR. So,
there.
You know what? It's a tough match. The HR and the AR.
Looks like they
We've got to go with.
I think they Yep. And they disallowed the goal.
And they kept the bludgers. They got everything. They got the bludgers, the quaffle, and no score. This is great for Calgary right now.
Yeah. And now they're also within range to tie.
This defensive possession is really important. Like we want to keep this, and so we're almost at 15 minutes. So kind of didn't do our job good enough to get really out of range. So we've just put pressure on ourselves for every possession. Lyndon gets beat out pretty quickly, and so does Zoe. So I step up and pause it here. And our whole entire team laughs at me during this possession because I just came up with this idea on the spot where the whole plan is to tap beat every single defender until he gets a lane. So as the keeper, I ran up directly to the keeper line. I can't be tap beat. I'm basically a wall. Referee Emma on the left-hand side calls me beat. You're gonna see me point to the ground, as to say I'm on the keeper line, and I exaggerate my steps that it is known I am in the keeper zone, and they laugh at me because I look like an idiot.
It's almost like he's got a string attached. Keeps coming back into his possession after every beat. Skilled bludger control. I think we need
Stomping the ground.
number 81. Look at it.
That's amazing.
Zoe trying to go tackle. Jason Ross here tries to tap beat me. I'm just staying on the line.
Yeah, you're trying.
Cut him off. I make the mistake though because I'm just so into myself. I try to chase him. I get beat out. Thankfully, he commits an error. Goals disallowed because he actually grabbed our player by the jersey to a choke. He, with his offhand, he grabs our player by the collar, chokes them, and shoots. Thankfully, the referee saw, and a penalty is going to go against them.
Yeah, that was a good catch, especially in that tight-knit grouping that they had there.
It was so unnecessary because it had their driving lane. They could have made this a 2-goal game.
Yeah.
Instead of driving, like I said, in the middle of the field, driving on the left-hand side. No, we only have to defend one hoop. There was no look to make a pass to anybody. There was no looking to shoot on any other hoop but the hoop on the left-hand side.
Right.
So it just makes life easier for us. And this is just the explanation of the penalty.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're getting back into game. Yep, so he does get taken off. Switch off the headband.
No goal.
No goal for the jersey grab.
Great opportunity, great drive. The goal will not count, so it remains 5-2.
Valhalla now returning to full strength as Ittaana Krow is making a break. Going to cut around the point chaser and going to make a quick shot.
If we go back,
right through the
I typically don't run a lot. Like, I don't push the pace, but if you pause it, you ask, what do I see me to run? I see two things. He didn't get back on defense. And because they're a person down, there's only 3 of them. And their beaters are not in the play because their beaters decided to sub. So they decided to sub on defense. And their chasers didn't even get back on defense in time. I thought maybe I can steal a goal quickly and we can get back to up 4.
Right.
Returning to full strength.
That's my thought process. All I gotta do is by one person, fake goal. And their beaters are now walking back into the play after they subbed.
After they subbed, yeah. That's a great read. And they subbed again.
Well, they were subbing.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
They were subbing. When I ran, they turned, and then they were like, "Oh no!" And then now they got a sub.
Yeah, and it was already too late. Yeah.
A crucial error. We're at the 16-minute mark.
Yeah.
They have control again, and they're killing a penalty. They're slowing things down. Only pause it.
Yep.
Only number 0 is on this side of the field.
Yep.
Everybody's there. So, like, as a keeper, if you're defending, it's so easy because you don't have to worry about making decisions on going left or right or covering so much space. It's just in front of you. They made it pretty easy to know what you got to stop, and all you got to do is make a play. There's not much thinking that you got to do.
That's a good read. So in this instance, are you just chilling up by the hoops because you don't have to worry about anything, or what are you thinking about here defensively?
I'm just yelling at I'm yelling at my chasers to who to double team. I'd yell, Shane, Katie, you're on double team. Beta, get back. And I'm just yelling at them who to defend. I'm basically directing them, telling them who they're going to have to defend.
So you're consistently talking. You're keeping that conversation. You're consistently giving orders.
I don't have pressure on me. They're moving so slowly that I don't have to worry about make a play. So my beaters are going to make a play pretty quickly. Jessel is saying, beat up top, ball, and then we get Beta Skywalker.
Oh, I love the flare. I love the little hop.
He loves it more than anybody watching. he loves it so much.
It's just like a little.
But he loves it.
Yeah. Oh, I love the flare. I just want somebody one day to do like a 360 dunk. Like, I'm just waiting for the day.
We're down. We're up 5, and the Seekers are about to be released. This is not what they wanted. So they're gonna have to score to get this game back in range. And we haven't had an issue scoring because I think we scored on almost 70% of our possessions so far. But they're just stalling so much time. So we got a double team again. Champion goes around double team, and Beta taps it in.
Oh no!
So if we go back, so Champion, if you remember before, he beat the double team score on Custers.
Right.
It's the same guy, and he right and went left. He did it again, and caught Jane again on the double team. And Beta tried to go for the block, taps it in. But what I want you to realize is, already seen they get slow. They're slow to get back on defense.
Right.
We've already seen the evidence of that in this game. But once Beta allows the goal and we're back to only up 4, as soon as I get the rebound, it's the same thing you're taught in basketball. Once you get the ball, look up. Before you start running, look up. And if you see that they're not set and they're not ready, then you can go. As soon as I get the rebound, I see that they're not set, and I make a mad dash, go for the quick response.
So kind to the left and then go for the pass. So what do you see here to go on this drive? Cause you know that they're slow to get on that defense?
So if you look back, they're all behind me. And they have no bludger. So we go pause it. Never ever have a qualifier carrier ahead of all your receivers. So I do have here. So if I was to coach someone, I would say you should never do this. Everyone should be in front of you. Right. You want to have passing options. If you're asking me what I'm seeing, I have no bludgers, and their players' backs are to me. They're walking back on defense. Their backs are to me. I know that once I start running, even if they turn around, they're on their heels. All I got to do is cut right or left. They're not even going to touch me. Then I trust myself to make the score. And that's what any qualifier carrier, if you see that their defense is not set, even if you're not the typical person to be a playmaker, this is what everyone should be able to understand quickly in how to run a fast break effectively. For easy goals, you don't have to worry about running a half-court offense. If their defense is not set, walking back, mind you, this is the last game of the tournament, so that means everyone's exhausted playing throughout the whole weekend. If they're waltzing back on defense, take advantage of it. And what I do here is I score, I sub. That's where I take my break.
Right. Because like look how many people you had behind you running with you.
They're not even set yet.
No, they're not. And you
Now
come
we're
on,
back to up.
and then I think like you said, you sub off here. I think.
We're back to up 5. Their keeper sub, the guy who scored, and he scored 2 of their goals.
Yep.
So balance trade-off. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, they're defensively seeking right now. And again, Tat beat.
50-point differential for
we're all set.
in favor of Valhalla. However,
we'll hold him off.
Yep.
Back in the range as a beat is made on the Calgary side, going to get picked up by number 13. Quick pass to number 911, who's going to get it stripped and attacked by number 88, Michael Beta. He's going to get recovered by Calgary coming around, looking for a reset as Katie Brown stuck to that chaser like glue, not letting him get anywhere. Is going to get passed off to the keeper. Number 91 going to make a quick pass out in front of the hoops. That's going to be a goal for Calgary.
That's a goal. If you want to pause it, go back. So Spencer's playing defense here. So
Not letting him get
this is how you know you haven't made a pass to the wing chaser yet. Pause it. Spencer, you're going to watch on this play. I don't even know if he realized that their wing chaser to their left made no. When you ask, is it going to be a shot, drive, or a pass? Spencer, red shot. Because nobody made contact on this Papa player, it's wrong. You can play it through.
The keeper, number 91, going to make a quick.
Yeah.
It's wrong. That position. Easy goal. Great pass, great shot.
Yeah.
Out in front of the hoops. That's going to be a goal for Calgary.
Beautiful goal by Calgary with the feed by Joel.
That was the first time they tried to pass the whole game, and we're at the 20-minute mark.
That is. And Snitch is on pitch.
That's where they're playing out. We've got
20 minutes, and that's the first pass.
Ross, very capable beaters out there as well. We need one more goal from Calgary to get this back into snitch range, and Calgary is going to fight. They are not going to let Valhalla get away with this. I got to mention that Calgary has had Bludger.
I'm pretty sure I called Spencer off for a sub.
Because you saw that he didn't go for the block there?
He didn't communicate, and he didn't read the play properly, and it's too easy of a goal, and we're not up by that much. That's a little bit of, I wanted to put our best defensive player in the game and put Custers back in.
Right. Yeah. Good coach. Good coaching.
Spinning out of a tackle. I'm going to make a quick pop over the right side of the pitch.
To Zoe is getting wrapped up. This to Yara. Yara's getting wrapped up and beat over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a great offensive possession at all. Yeah, we weren't able to get around we weren't able to get past the initial defenders, and we're just making passes for the sake of passing. There was no actual reason for anything we were doing. So they're trying to get the game back in range now. So this again makes this a very important defensive possession. And they're still slowly marching it up the field. No intention of rushing.
None at all.
Very close and sweet. We see Yara looking to do some aggressive point chasing. We see
Sola makes a beat goes at the beater. Get Devin and Yara double team.
This opportunity. A quick pass again behind the hoops.
Ooh.
I want to go back.
Yeah.
Devin and Yara are good defenders, but I want to just show how great of an offense posit. I'm going to keep telling you to go back. Go back 5 seconds.
Yeah.
This is smart. How to beat a double team. Paul Martin, hard left fake, comes back up, Devin reaches his left arm. So he reaches. He knows that he's out of the play. Yara tries to cut off the lane, but because Devin reached, look at that double team. There's a hole in the middle. He single-handedly eliminated 2 of our defenders. Fortunately, we had Aaron McCready beater back there. When he drives after making such a great move, we force him to pass, which he does.
Right.
There's the pass.
A quick pass again behind
and Custers rotates. And they had an opportunity for a shot.
They did. Right there. Custer's good chances in stepping up, but he got lucky on that. But I think the stepping up caused her to rush the shot a little bit too early. Or did not take the time in order to line up the shot, is what I mean.
Exactly. No, you're right. That's exactly, like, they were uncomfortable because of ensuing pressure.
Right.
But they made the play, and now Custers goes for a little bit of a run. Open field.
And it looks like the keeper was subbing, so that's what he saw.
Again, subbing on defense.
Exactly.
It's simple things that you can't really do. And Custers saw him make the play before. As soon as he saw the keeper subbing, they're walking back on defense, and it again.
Yep.
They had a chance to almost score, and then on the next possession, gave up a goal where we didn't pass the ball even. So, like, it's simple things that you can't really make such errors in a finals game, you know?
Yeah.
we're not really making plays out here. They're making mistakes. Gola looked like he was going to the snitch, came back and attacked these beaters who their backs were to him. It's a Quaffle player, and I'm pretty sure we have a no bludger drive again. Devin goes for a run. No goal.
On the backhand.
Get a rebound, tackle at the end, and that's why I say run up down the middle of the field so that way you can shoot left and right.
Yeah, so you're not limiting your options.
Exactly, and Devin was going straight for that left hoop the whole time, made eye contact, and then didn't go away. The keeper knows that if I make this hit, I have no other option. We should have scored.
I've been in dog piles before with Katie Brown on Valhalla, and there's no way you're getting that ball from him. He's got a grip of iron, and unless you get a beater in there, you're not going to get it out of
As
her.
a player, personally, I hate when that goal gets taken away. All it does is give them hope.
Right.
In their minds, they stopped us. Maybe we can get back. Never want to give opponents hope. Want to just rip that away every single time. If they make a mistake, we're going to capitalize all the time, and that they just feel defeated. We have Alexis drives right towards Gola. And watch this play. Taps it to his teammate, and who gets there first? Sprinting on the Custers. Runs everybody. The goal.
Where did Custers? I want to look back. Where did Custers even come from? Like, where is he? He's way back here by the keeper line.
This keeper, Calgary, thought he was gonna get beat. He just sit back because in his mind, even if I get beat, my teammates are gonna hustle for that ball. Custers went from the keeper zone to the other end of the field before anybody else. Look at this.
This is hilarious.
Outruns all of them. And now it's just a foot race.
That's just the athleticism of Custers.
Athleticism, awareness.
Yep.
And you gotta take guts to make that kind of decision.
Oh yeah, because if you get beat all the way out there, that's you just lost your main keeper on the defensive end.
Exactly. Heck of a decision. Right there, that's the difference between me and Spencer with Custers. Spencer can't make that run.
Right.
I think we're up 6 now. Still slowing the pace. Custers subbed off after that run. Catch Gola with a couple of beats here. Ball. And he scores.
That was a really good drive.
Scores, and we get caught for a neck tackle by Rico. Right by the little hoop there.
Yeah. Rico right here.
So fast. If he gets to step on you, you got to get really low to make those tackles. And you got to stick it. If you don't stick it, it's going to be a score every single time.
Right.
So you got caught napping.
See when we get back into play. I think this is also really good to show that that you can have multiple different types of keepers. You don't just need to be a big guy driving through everybody, because all three of you play keeper completely differently. You have Spencer, who is if I'm just going to pause this and then rewind it so that we can go back and look at this, because it looks like you see something on this drive. But you can have different types of people on keeper. Because I remember me first starting, when I went to the first tournament, I realized that I was so small. But the thing is that you don't have to be the largest guy making the drives all the time. You can play the ball, or you can run it by being athletic like Custers, but he has that defensive mind. I think Spencer is a great driver, and it is a great keeper technique or tactic by having your main driver or keeper or main driver as your keeper. But I think that what you guys do shows that you can have multiple different types of people, because as you said before, you're not necessarily driving all the time. Yes, you do drive sometimes, but you mainly play the ball. And I think that that's something that a lot of younger keepers don't really see, is that, or a lot of keepers, younger keepers like myself, only think that, oh, since I'm the keeper, I need to drive. There are multiple ways in which you can actually play the position keeper. And I think you guys do that fantastic.
The keeper being your main driver, it was a thing when I came into the sport. It's not necessary. Like, yeah, you are 100% right. The way me and Custers and Spencer play defense is all different.
Right.
Custers was a goalie in soccer, so he can make diving saves, one-on-one tackler, and great at recovering rebounds. I'm better
speed.
at.
I'm sorry, and his speed, like on top of being like a soccer player.
Exactly, and Spencer is mostly the intimidation factor. You don't really want to drive dead on against Spencer because you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit hard. But over time, he's become a better shot blocker, and he's improved on the communication because he knows that because of his lack of speed, he needs certain players to be in different spots to make up for his lack of speed.
Right.
For myself, I'm the shortest of the three of us. I'm the worst tackler out of all three. Teams have been getting better and better at trying to expose that. I make up for in terms of I communicate with my beaters on defense, try to cover up driving lanes or where I want them. Sometimes I use myself as a shield. If my beaters are backpedaling into my keeper zone as they're being attacked by another beater, I'll step into the way of a beat, get beat intentionally so that they're safe. I can't get beat anyway because I'm in my keeper zone. I'm communicating with them and I'm able to pick off passing lanes. Kind of use them to anchor my drive. That way I have to focus on either blocking a shot or recovering on a pass. That's where I'm most comfortable.
Right.
So we all have different ways, and it's funny because our chasers and our beaters all have to figure out if we're on the field with any one of the three of us, they're playing differently depending on which keeper's on the field.
Right. Now, would you say that a team should, now with that being said, do you think that a team should play differently to their keepers? Is that something that you would recommend to what keeper is on the field just because they start with the ball?
I think you should play differently to who your best defenders on the field.
Good answer.
So it should always be around who your best defenders are. If you have a bunch of people that are great chasers, like they're great tacklers at midfield or like in one-on-one scenarios, I would try to make maybe a more aggressive approach so that their skills shine and that the keepers have to adapt to them because they're the better defender.
Right.
If your beaters are usually better than every beater pair they go around, maybe we create a defense where they're focused on just winning beater battles and then can play on quaffle players secondary, basically trying to formulate it around your best players. That way, build it that way. And then all the skills around that kind of want everyone to have first you want them to have skills that shine that are opposite and then try to build everybody to have similar skills so that they become interchangeable. It's hard because I've had Custers and Spencer for a number of years, so we've all added different things.
Right.
And this is why it's so good for university teams. If you have somebody for 3 years, kind of can mold them to add. You always should add a different part of things to your game every season, and it should always be towards the team needs. And then that starts with figuring out what's your team's strength, then building it from there.
I like that. I really like that idea and you should always be changing because university teams, well, our ranks or our rosters are not always guaranteed, right? Because some students might be taking the year off to focus on school or something come up or they graduate, like our rosters are not always the same. So changing it up each year by playing on your team's strengths is something rather than just going from one playbook. or playing on or doing the same plays that somebody who just graduated from last year was really good at. You know, I think that's really good advice, especially for university teams.
It's hard to. I won't even just say it's hard. I personally don't think it's a good idea to tell someone to play a certain way because somebody did that before and it was successful for that person. It should be successful for you. And then you kind of put them in a box. And then it's worse if they can't play that way and your playbook is for that, and they just feel like shit.
Yeah.
That player feels like shit. Everybody else thinks that they should be doing that, especially people who've been on the team with that other person before. How come you're not like so and so? You should be able to do like that. Oh, you just suck. Now that player feels like garbage. Your current players feel like they're not good enough because they don't have that other player that we used to have, and everyone just is not feeling great about themselves. And in essence, kind of every season is a different team.
Yeah.
If you're returning your best players, that's usually where teams start getting even better because you have that same building block. You're just adding more people to the building block. But if you have to change things, don't be afraid to change them because you got to change it for the players that you do have, not the players that you used to have.
That's amazing advice, especially for university teams or just any sort of team. That's spectacular. Thank you. All right. Let's go and play the footage. Go and let it run.
We have how we set the pick perfect. And if we go back, these next couple of plays are just excellent spacing. So we pause it here. So Howie's being defended by nobody. So when Howie sets this pick, I know that there's nobody coming to defend me immediately.
Right.
I get that driving lane. Now they gotta deal with me on the run. I can manipulate that. All I gotta do is either with my eyes or with body gestures make it seem like I'm gonna go hero run because you guys given me all that space.
Yeah.
It means now they're gonna overreact the initial mistake that they've already made. So we press play, and nobody there. Running. Pause. Keeper steps up. My right in is tying up their only beater. If you take the cruiser to the right, that's it. Yeah, so they're tied up. And I have Howie to my left. And remember when I told you I keep the player behind me? Number 55
Yep.
is coming back to me. He's out of the play. All I got to do here is keep this keeper on me. So I fake the pass. I fake the shot. Then I make the pass. Because he didn't really commit enough, I had to do two fakes. So if you rewind it back 10 seconds, they throw two fakes.
Faked the pass.
One.
Yep.
I look to shoot, and then I throw the pass.
So that was two different types of fakes. Fakes with actually like faking the pass with the ball, and then faking with your eyes, because you could clearly see that your head shifts. Like your head shifts. Fake the pass, and then the head turn.
All I'm doing is try to keep the keeper on me.
Keep the keeper on you and focused on what you're doing, and except not knowing what you're going to do.
Exactly. I trust myself that I'm gonna gather enough attention. It has to stop me, or else I'm gonna drive and dunk. So, and I have enough time with that chaser behind me that Howie does a great job running the lane. Just trust, makes the catch, and finishes strong.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Here we go.
have Yara. They get that. We force the pass early.
Yep. With Yara here up top.
And now they're feeling a little bit rushed. They're running out of time, and we're close to catching. So this is the part of the game where you just want to just keep piling on the scores. They feel like they have no choice, no chance of coming back. Still there?
Oh.
Hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Did I lose you?
Did you want it back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So pause it. What I was trying to get at is they wasted a possession pretty early than what they typically be done. It just means that they're being rushed. So we want to capitalize and get as many scores now and push the pace because they're rushed and we want to play fast. We're gonna keep going faster to see if they're gonna realize to slow it down to their pace or they're gonna feel rushed and not play the way they want to.
Right.
Berger beats number 55, who before Howie set a pick on this guy. So now that we beat him, just have him out of the play earlier, but we have to make up for him when he gets back to his shoot. We have our driving lane because of that beat. We played through. Nobody stepped up for a while, and now I have a mismatch.
Yep.
Smaller player. Make one move. Don't look past goal.
That was perfect.
And I know now that I'm playing because my head fake worked the last play. I know I can throw my head fakes out there because they're falling for it.
Yara Kodashaw, formerly from Edmonton. I will throw that out there. She also is from the #YEG. And wow.
Our beaters, by the way, have been dominating the past 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
For now we have bludger control, so we're just scoring at will.
And extending that lead so that basically well, you don't want to try to catch when you're in the finals, really. You don't want a suicide catch. But you're just trying to kind of take away that hope, is what I'm getting at, I'm guessing.
Exactly, and they do cold catch this game.
Oh, really?
Gets called off, but they do attempt. So James Champion here, and so pause it.
Yep.
Go back 5. And remember what I told you when someone is driving and you're the keeper, and you're like, "What decision do you make?"
Right.
Your chasers help you make the decision. James Champion here, the big hit, sacrificing her body right here for this hit, and then Sturger makes this beat. So I don't even have to make a play. I just pick up a rebound. They've made the play for me. I'm in position to go make a block, but they've already made the play, and now I can just
do
a little
your
bit.
thing.
Now they're gonna double team me. I'm fine. Take the hand off, and I got my one-on-one. Juke. I'm attracting attention. Pause it. You're gonna see after I make my second move, all 3 Calgary chasers are watching me. I'm gonna tell you where to pause. Keep going. They fall for the pump fake. 3 of them all on one hoop.
Yep.
And now all I gotta they've chosen not to tackle me. So I can just waltz in here, just make an easy pass.
An easy pass right. Oh my gosh. Wow.
We've seen now that who have they really tackled on our team to the ground? Haven't, unless we were running for a loose ball, haven't really tackled anybody. So that means that I'm just now a little bit confident that I can walk into their keeper zone, make a few moves, and not have to worry about being taken to the ground, especially when their beaters are out of the play.
Right.
So, I can't do that against certain teams. I definitely cannot do that against Guelph or other teams like the Otters, where they punish you physically, especially what you saw in MLQ. They punish you physically if you think you're going to walk in. So this team really did not do that. So it kind of allowed me to have a little bit of my moments here and there. And another great defensive play.
Oh, yeah. Was that... It's one tackle. Yeah. Good tackle by Zoe.
And then the beater, they thought they saw Gola coming at them. And that was just the fear of Gola.
Yeah. So it spins him around, and then, yep, you can see he looks straight up at Gola. Zoe's twisting around, and then he looks up, sees Gola right there. And he's like, nope. That's kind of funny, actually.
That's that intimidation factor.
Yeah.
So we're up good now. We're up by 8, our biggest lead.
Yep.
And this, if you want to pause it here, can't remember how this works. This was the biggest ego stroke. Not a good play. Do not do this as a player. I saw their top player.
Okay.
Coming back on as a beater to try to create some
This was
opportunities.
a chance to go Manu Umanu, just have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
But I turned over the ball, and it was my mistake. It was selfish, and it results in them scoring, and they drew a penalty against us.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I subbed because I was selfish.
Yep.
The refs look like they're going to talk. It is a goal that did cross the plane, and he was not being.
What's confusing is this keeper, Calgary, loved contact when they were running in on offense. So on defense, they didn't dish contact.
Alex Naftal, how you feeling out there?
They liked running through our quaffle defenders. Had no interest in tackling
Right.
our quaffle players. It was kind of odd. I didn't expect that. That just became a happy surprise as the game progressed.
Right. And you were learning about this really as you were playing them because you didn't have a lot of time to scout.
And every player should approach. Human beings are creatures of habit. If you see somebody do something nice, and that's kind of their MO, and you can kind of then you know that that's who they are, then you can manipulate it. It's hard when you have another player that's really good. I'll give you an example like a Zach McDonald or as a beater, and sometimes who was that player in Ottawa? A long time ago. They don't play anymore. I can't remember, but they have mad jukes where they would throw a combination of jukes where they would left, right, and even throw a spin move. Like they don't get thrown off. They have multiple moves. You have players that have counters to their moves. So they have multiple aspects. So like when you see a keeper and you go, okay, so they're a great shot blocker. They can't tackle. They can't cover space because they're slow. Well, that just means I have to get faster and use my speed against them. Or they're great at tackling, but they don't seem to be able to block a shot. I guess we have to learn how to shoot in this game and just start opening up your shooting range. Or they can do both those things. They're not good at communicating and can't cover open receivers. Then you gotta manipulate them and open up and use your other chases and pass that way. Like you gotta figure out what they don't do very well. You gotta do this pretty quickly in a game, especially when you don't face somebody over and over again.
Right.
And then make your decisions after seeing that. Right? Like so that's kind of how you break that down. Where you see when the way I judge whether a player is good or not has nothing to do with what they've done in their career. If I can see a player make those decisions pretty fast, and they have more than one counter to the way they play. Like if I'm gonna give a shout out, rookie on Guelph, Dawson's a great player, and then also New Ottawa, she's been playing for a while. Savannah, offensively, because that's kind of like where I love more offense, is that they able to do multiple things. Like they can pass, they can shoot, they have speed, and they're always looking to see how to like make a pass. They don't have the experience to make the play every time because that's the hard part, right? Consistency of always doing it. There are flashes, and when you see flashes, you just know that they're going to become a great player down the line.
Right.
So like that's where you kind of judge. So when you're playing a game and you see that a keeper is doing something, it's consistent. It's just them at the thing they suck at, and until they sub off. Or if they don't have no, and this is the best part, when they have no subs, it just demoralize them doing the same thing over and over again until they start getting frustrated at their own teammates. Because that's what happens next. You don't think you could do your job, you get mad at your teammates, or you get mad at the refs. Either way, both those things are good for you.
To get inside their head and to try to take away that hope, because if once you get inside their head, that it's over.
Exactly.
So Spencer coming up onto the field, coming up onto the pitch.
He's hugging that ball again, which I don't like.
Yeah. Oh.
Beat. And that's not a good pass. Them up.
And we're going to see a pull. The snitch is in the hand of the Calgary Seeker.
Oh, so they do.
Yeah. They attempt the cold catch here. but
That-
it's called off. It's called off. Gola told us after, because I didn't see this live. Gola beat them before they caught.
Oh my gosh.
We're so shocked that we knew they were defending, but we didn't know that they were going to cold catch because it's the finals.
Yeah,
Like-
who cold catches in the finals?
So, like, imagine next year trying to recruit players and you'd be like, you were in the finals. Oh, you guys made it to the finals? Yeah, but we ended the game and basically we forfeited because we weren't going so well. I'd be like, why would I play for that? Like, why would I play? You forfeit. Like, you don't have that kind of mentality. Like, it's something philosophically that's against me personally.
Yeah.
That's not. I can never make such a decision, especially in bracket play, let alone the finals.
Yeah. let
Gola
alone the finals.
stays a day here.
That's a great.
See a nice
Wait, didn't you
cross
get the beat there?
by Calgary. Little bit of a fumble, but eventually it's
They score again.
hands of 55, James
You
champion.
see, if they start passing the ball, everything opens up for them.
Yeah, they score a lot more.
6-point spread getting
The
closer.
defense gets beat up. So if you pause it here, you ask me when do keepers sub, right?
Right.
So saw Spencer make a pass to Beta where a beater was near him. That means he didn't draw the beater towards himself, right? That's what I said, remember at the beginning. Draw attention, or at least make a pass to somebody where they can't get beat right away. So that was, even though Beta caught it and gets beat, when I tally stats for my team, that's Spencer's turnover.
Right.
I pick on the passer more than I pick on the receiver.
Right.
Sometimes unfairly. And in this place, he gets beat from behind. That's 2 turnovers. We gave up a goal possession before. Now they get a fast break. I forget if they score here.
I think they do score
Recover the
here.
ball.
Champion driving with no beaters.
This could be 2 unanswered goals by Calgary, and it is.
Goal.
James Champion
They get 2 goals back to back. First time in the whole game. We went from up 8 to a 5-point game.
Champion took like a little pop towards just to get the angle, released it with the push pass.
So at this point, as a coach, are you calling him over to come off?
At this point, I'm pretty sure that either I don't remember if I call him to get subbed right away, or if I go talk, like I would go talk to him and tell him to focus on where your beaters are. The one aspect that always gets lost on Canadian Quidditch, qualified players, understanding where bludgers are during snitch on pitch.
Right.
There's so many times where beaters take a beat on a qualified player who's not paying attention. It results in a turnover where the beater sometimes is not even playing you. They're playing the snitch. You just happen to waltz by them. And then you just either take yourself out of the play, which is bad, the wing chaser, or you're a qualified carrier and you get beat out and you just turn over the ball, which is even more bad.
Yeah.
And I consider these as careless turnovers. Either you're not paying attention or you're tired. It's only one of these 2 things in my mind. So,
Right.
and both of those 2 things are grounds for you to take a sub.
Right.
Earlier today. So if Valhalla can continue to run up the score with a quick response from Michael Beta, they may,
I love it.
Calgary may not keep this as close as Edmonton, but
I want him to he needs to add a heel clicker onto that as he dunks. That's the one thing they could do to improve on it.
and Edmonton had to sort of think
Beta, if you're watching it, please add a heel clicker.
Calgary has been able to keep this close
Give the people what they want, Beta.
Give them what they want.
Quick pass out. Oh, it goes to no receivers number 88. Michael Bate is going to pick it up. A look
We
at
have Beta on the run again.
I'm not sure there's any
That's
beaters
feeling
in front of him.
himself.
He's going to break 1 tackle. He's going to
Oh.
caught up in a second one.
Tackle.
popped out.
And go back.
Pick it
This is
up.
absolutely what you should never do as a qualified carrier.
Beaters in
Or,
front of him. He's
and I learned this from football, never give up your back. Even though, people say, well, if I turn and they hit me, and it's a card against them, right?
Right.
But still your fucking back, you're gonna get hurt. And back injuries are not kind.
No.
It messes you up for a long, protect your back and protect your knees. And Beta didn't know what he wanted to do on this play. It was very clear. And though he turned last minute and just took a shot to the back.
He's gonna break
Yep.
one tackle.
He turns his back right there.
Yeah.
He's gonna get caught up in a second one.
And it's popped out.
And got beat.
Joel Martins is going to
Yep.
get possession to hold that ball. Nice try by Michael Beta. That great speed. He didn't get the opportunity really to look towards a hoop as we had multiple Calgary chasers step up.
Coming up to the 30-minute mark in game time, and the score is
Alex,
we have 80 and we have 140, so we're up 6.
We're almost at the 30-minute mark now.
And as Bludger control, they do.
Now. And of course, missing
Even though they have Bludger control, they still don't want to speed the game up.
looking for an opportunity.
They're down. They need to get it back in range.
Cheering, let's go.
With them slowing it down like this, all it does is give all our players extra rest on defense.
I mean, I guess the performance
Right.
of all three teams were able to come west.
Long pass.
Joel
Good.
Martins with the snipe.
Now we have a beater battle in the middle of the field.
Half and the
They throw it far. It becomes a foot race. Beaters are off doing their thing off screen. Our qualified players are like, I think they're about to go for a run because of the beater mess. No bludgers. And goes. And again, this time he drives left.
Quick response.
He at least gets the ball in a position where he can go over the top.
Right.
Even then, I still don't like the way went about that. Left-handed, I found out left-handed players, as much as right-handed players love going right and can't go left, left-handed players really cannot go in right. They're offhand. So players usually just default to what they're good at. So he went to his left and fortunately scores, but should always stay at least in the middle of the field, making a drive.
Right. So you give yourself those options of the 3 hoops.
Exactly.
Not want to get too close to that impede their seekers. We see
They're still defensive seeking. We get more tap beats. They're walking it up the field, rotating over with double teams. Are staying here. Devin comes back. Got 2 on the ball. Escape.
Yar coming
Beat out. Surround Yar, but Custer's, remember, Custer's hit him before. Oh, he passes. So interest.
And the ball is dropped.
They should have scored on that possession.
They should have scored it, yep. But just
They
bobbled the
100%
ball.
should have scored. Exactly. Again, like we bobbled it in the beginning of the game. Those mistakes can't happen in the finals game, right? Like every little thing counts.
Yeah. Looks like he bobbled it like with the broom, couldn't really see because someone was in front, but it almost looked like the ball was almost like she caught it underneath her broom and tried to bring it up.
I don't even blame them because they don't. You can pause it. I think this is the game here.
I think it is too.
And when you don't pass the ball to your receivers often enough, and that means they're not prepared to catch it. Then all of a sudden you throw a pass there, and they bobble it. Usually, what that tells me is they were just not expecting the pass.
Yep.
Of course, you should always be expecting the pass. Something has to be said that if you're only throwing, and I think there were only 3 passes to their chasers in this game, 3 or 4. Like, I kind of don't put it on them because that hasn't been happening. So they probably don't expect to get the ball at this point.
Yeah, but and they haven't been playing the game, any part of the game at passing, and so they're not expecting it for that reason either.
Exactly.
So it was just complete surprise to him, and it looks like this catch is it. I think Naftal was down to 1 arm at this point. So what are you telling everybody now as you walk across the field here, like just coming across?
Oh, if you pause it, I do this a lot. So I'm some of my players call me annoying, but I'm of the mindset where expect worst outcome. I don't say that to them, but that's how it's in my mind. When I go to them, I tell them, game's not over. We're ready for them to blow the whistle, and we got to go back into game time. It's not a time to celebrate. Focus, because we can't be giving up goals.
Right.
So, and I'm maintaining focus. So I'm basically an annoying substitute teacher. I make sure everyone keeps focused. That's basically what I'm doing. And it's mainly, and I tell that to myself. So, because I don't like to get too high or too low. even though I do end up going too high or too low. I try to level myself off into nothing has happened until they call it.
Right.
So, because it's so easy for you to believe, okay, we should win. And then they say you didn't win. And then you go, oh, why didn't they? It's their fault. Give it to us. And that's not supposed to give anything to you. You take it. If you didn't take it right, you gotta take it again.
That's an amazing way of putting it. Because there have been plenty of games where we've caught the snitch and it gets called off. But that's an amazing way of taking a look at it.
And the most important thing is telling the bench not to celebrate. Right? Like, because everybody has to be prepared for it. It's a long weekend. So at any point, you've got to be mentally and physically prepared to go into the game and be celebrating as if it's happened, and then it gets taken away, and you're now distracted.
Yeah.
Minimizing those distractions at all costs.
Right. I think this is actually it, because I think they do.
I've been on the losing end as much as I've been on the winning end. What's going through my head is I'm seeing all the plays that happen over the course of the game to bring us to the point that we're at.
Right.
And then I make peace if we won or if we lost. If we lose and that happens, initially get mad, but if I know we played a good game, that's off to the team. It's completely different if we played a bad game and he just gave it away and I'm upset. I don't get upset until we come back to our huddle.
So impressed by Calgary out there. Honestly, both teams played phenomenally.
I love the golf clap as you walk up.
All season to deserve this.
Like, let's take a replay at that. I love that.
Probably could say this now. I was probably playing concussed this whole entire weekend.
No, you weren't.
No. I was exhausted. Your gameplay when you're playing, like, to give you an idea of what my games are, what the events of what happened is, before the game starts, a pre-game talk, scouting report. I'm rarely there for the warm-up. So the team warm-up happens. I arrive and I do my own warm-up. And then I go and I tell them about what to expect in this game. And then we cheer, whatever, game happens. Game's over, my scorecards, talk to my players. As soon as that's done, I run off to find Kyle, or at this point it was Emma, and we find out, okay, what's happening with all the other games, scorecard, inputting scores, things, and then if I have to send players to go ref, I go send them, and then I go into my gameplay mode. If I don't have to go to the gameplay tent and they have it covered, I go to another game and I just scout or just watch another game. Curious about watching.
Right.
Usually I go to gameplay. I deal with that until I have to go to a team and I tell them, prepare for it. We're on next pitch. Go get warmed up. Get ready. You have until so-and-so time.
Yeah.
And before the weekend is there, I have an itinerary of where you should, because we have a schedule, right? So I tell everybody when you should be where all the time. That way, you don't have to look for you. And then thankfully, we have great managers on the team and assistant managers and players that they hold them accountable, because I'm already running around doing too many things.
Yeah.
By the time this is all done, I am exhausted. Like, I am so done. Custer's left into Lyndon's arms. I couldn't get there. I was so tired.
Yeah.
I clapped. The clap was for the other team. They made a hell of a run to get where they were.
Yeah.
I was tired, and I can tell you at the end of the day when we came to the locker room and we were celebrating with bottles of wine, we were saying speech. I could barely muster a speech.
Oh, really?
Said, let's just drink. I was tired. I was so exhausted after tournaments. I usually am exhausted. If we end up partying, Spencer has given me a trick of a muscle relaxer, so that way I don't feel pain.
Just take drugs. It's fine.
And then just go. And then Monday, I feel like I got hit by a truck.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm exhausted. So you get a little bit of a golf clap, and then we go.
Yeah, golf clap, and then you're ready to go. Get the wine into you, celebrate, get some drugs into you, and then. Question: do you take the day off on Monday?
No.
Oh no! Oh, that's the worst.
It depends on. So when if we're in Ontario, no. And if we're not, then I went to Victoria, and I think one of the Hamilton ones, I just took it off. When regionals was in Montreal, Kingston, the Monday was off, except for one time. I had to drive. Well, I didn't drive. I was a passenger, but our DD drove me right into work, and it was probably useless at work, but I was there. So.
But you were there, getting the paycheck. That's awesome. Well, with that being said, that was an amazing game to watch, and thank you for joining me today. Thank you for walking us through this. This has been absolutely phenomenal.
Go ahead.
No, anything else that you want to add before we sign off?
Thank you for having me, and this is a great idea.
Thank you.
People, having the opportunity.
Oh, are you
getting younger players just so that we know what they see, and then having questions asked to them, and then so they have basically just resources, more information, how to make the game a better game.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal. So you're saying like bring in some young blood into this. Yeah.
Everybody.
All right.
And like if they're primarily if they're great at secret beating, breaking down secret beating footage if that's available. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
If they're a wing chaser, what do to quaffle carriers when they're on the field? If you have a strong defender and you start seeing the game from a defensive aspect, from a point chase, like a point defender, that'd be great because everybody sees the game in angles, right? It's like geometry. So you see the game in different angles and how you can cover ground. Person on, fantastic, and you started something great here.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to get, like you said, like everybody's different angles because everyone sees it differently. Like we had a beater last time, now we have a keeper this time. So I really value that input and thank you. You know what? When quarantine's going on, I got a lot of free time. So this is my pleasure doing this. But you still there, Ittaana?
Oh, you were cutting out. I didn't catch you.
Oh, okay. I was just saying like exactly what you said. Because everyone looks at the game differently. I just wanted to bring in a whole bunch of different players just to see what they see, or so like bringing in like I had Shaggy last episode recorded with him a little bit just to see from a beater's perspective because I've never played beater. I don't have the brain power to be a beater. So seeing what he sees is completely different. So a little bit more in my comfort zone talking about keeping and quaffle play in this one. But that was, with quarantine going on, I got a lot of time on my hands. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Give the people what they want and give them that content.
Give them that content. Give the people what they want. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ittaana, for joining us. And Canada, keep it rich on the pitch. See you next time.
Take care. Bye.